It's a new season. It's a new day. It's a new day. Fresh anointing. It's flowing my way. It's flowing my way. Can you stand it tonight?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I want to welcome everyone back to DJ Real Talk in the Raw. Yeah, I've been off for a while. I had a busy week last week, a lot of appointments, so I was not able to come on. But we're back on today. Yes, we are back on today. So I want to say welcome to all of you that are on Facebook. Welcome to all of you that are on YouTube. Yes, I would like you to do something for me as we get started. I want you to like and subscribe my YouTube page. If you go to YouTube, pull up DJ Real Talk in the Raw or either H. Dean Johnson. And I want you to like and subscribe my YouTube page. On Facebook, we are doing fantastic. My following is quite enormous. I'm grateful for that. All of my family and friends who come on and watch me, you may not respond, but I see that you are watching. And I hope that I am saying something that is, eye-opening, things of that nature, and that is helpful to you. But I need you to, even those of you that are on Facebook, if you would go to YouTube and like and subscribe my YouTube page, DJ Real Talk in the Raw, I will greatly appreciate that. Yes, I will. So we're going to talk about some breaking news. Breaking news. It's late because I'm late. Yes, I'm late, but I got to talk about it because it is something that's going on that I'm pretty sure all over this country, we are talking about it, and we have our own opinions in regards to what is going on with that. Good morning, Felicia. Good morning to my sister, Felicia. That's my OSJ sister. Yes, it is. Glad to have you here on DJ Real Talk in the Raw. But there's something that happened, Felicia, and a lot of us, I know we have an opinion. I know I do. And I want to talk about that on today. And that is Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells. Yes, I want to talk about Nolan Wells. And so, as we discuss Nolan Wells, if you have any comments, or even if you're enjoying or agree with what I'm saying in the comments section, put it there. If you have a question that you would like me to pose to the audience, write it in the comments section, and I will definitely share it with our audience. But I want to talk about Nolan Wells. And, my nieces and nephews, they grew up here in the town of Cherville. 28 years ago, Cherville wasn't a large percentage of people of color, and we've lived here about 28 years. They've gone through school, Holman Elementary, Grimmer Middle School, and Lake Central High School. And they were a lot of times the only persons of color in their classroom. And of course, your peers then don't oftentimes look like you in those situations because the school is predominantly Caucasian. So every now and then they would maybe have someone, and they were so excited to have someone in the school that looked like them. Good morning to my sister Toya Lee. Good morning. And so we make choices in regards to our lives, where we live, what schools our children go to, all of that. We make choices, and we're making the best possible choices for our children, giving them a great environment to live in, giving them a wonderful school to attend that they can get the best possible education. So I just want to say there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Good morning, Carol. And today, I think when was your birthday, today or yesterday? But we're going to get into that later. But I want to talk about this because it is vitally important that we vet our children's friends. We need to vet them. Yes, today, good morning to I miss you. I miss you. But we need to vet them. Back in the day, our parents, when we were growing up, they had to meet the other folks' parents, and not only did they meet them, they got to know your friends who we were hanging out with, and they had to approve of them. And if they didn't approve of them, they would say, you can't hang out with them. It was just that simple. There were no discussion about it because they were making sure that we were hanging with people and around individuals that would take care of us, look out for us, right? Toya said, I was a parent. I need to know everybody that were associated with my children. And so that should not change today because we're talking now about Nolan Wells, who lived in an affluent community and went to school at Ocean Spring High School. Let's talk about him a little bit because I'm bothered. I really am bothered. I have my opinion. It's mine, okay? And either you like it or you don't. That's on you. It's my opinion, and I'm going to share it. And so, let's see. Nolan Wells is from Ocean Spring, Mississippi. Ocean Spring, Mississippi. And he was 18 years old, college student, football player, and he grew up in the coastal city and graduated from Ocean Spring High School. This young man have not in the media, on social media, or anything of that nature heard anything derogatory or negative about this young man, nor his family. Well educated, well mannered, all of that. Great young man. And it reminds me of my nephew, Julius. We call him JC. And his friends, and he would hang out either at our house or at his friend's house, things of that nature. And they were not a person of color. And they went to school together, all of that. Yet, we were able to know their character because they were in our home so that we could vet them to make sure that they were good for him to be around. They're going to look out for him, things of that nature, whether he looked like them or not. Vitally important. Want to make sure that if they got in a situation and because he didn't look like them, were they going to stand up for them or were they going to walk away? And so We're grateful and thankful that JC had some awesome friends throughout his educational situation here in Cherville and in the Cherville school system. But something happened with Nolan Wells and his friends. And we don't know the whole story. All we can do is speculate what has happened. So listen. From understanding, that night he stayed over at his friend's home. Yeah, he stayed over, guys. And the next day, he and his friends went by boat to Horns Island, an undeveloped bare island 8 miles off the coast of Mississippi. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning. Okay, so far, so good. Everything's, it seems like it's just working out. Friends, school mates, hanging out. They're going to spend a weekend together. And so they start out on their journey, right? So Nolan Wells, on July 4th, went by boat, their trip to Horns Island, Mississippi, with 3 male high school friends, while local authorities and the mother of one of the boys stated Nolan chose to stay on the island due to a boat mechanical issue. Well, now Nolan's family are seeking an independent investigation. Why are we talking about this? He was found dead. Dead. But those whom he traveled with had no idea of this. Finding this a little strange. What y'all say? Now, when I hang out with my family, I see Felicia, Toya, Carol, and Michelle. I'm going to know where they're at. Number one, going to know where they're at. I'm not going to find out that something happened to them. Why? We're together. So if we're together, I'm going to know what's going on with you every step of the way. Because I was always taught, see, if you go anywhere together with whom you are with, when you return, you are supposed to return with those same individuals. Now, that's how I was raised. How was y'all raised? That's how I was raised. You went with them, you'll come back with them. Well, that didn't happen with Nolan. And let's see. Toya decided she wanted to stay back wherever we journeyed to. Well, let's see. I believe that I'm going to know what's going on with her. Why? I'm going to keep contact with her. Girl, sis, what's going on? What you doing right now? Where you at? When you get ready to come home? We shouldn't have left without you. We all should have came back together. But what you doing right now? Where you at? So I may not be there, but I'm going to have an idea of where Toya is and when she gets home. And if I don't, something's wrong if I don't hear from her. And if that's the case, then we're going to have to find out what's going on. So that's what happened. Listen. And so let's see here. All of us have, everybody. I don't care how much money you got, how much money you don't have. Everybody has a cell phone. And those of you that know me, my cell phone is always on my person. Yes, it is. I don't depart from it. It's with me at all times. And a lot of you, I know your cell phones are with you at all times. I used to tease my buddy, Pastor D, all the time. Like if I would text or call, and I'm going to say, if he didn't call back right away or text back right away, I'll go, what you doing? Because I don't know what you think you're doing, because your phone is on you. Why? Because he carries it everywhere he goes. So I would, joke about that. Like, what took you so long? Because your phone is glued to your body. Well, now, how did Nolan Wells' phone end up not on his person? Why was he without his phone? Let's see here. Nolan Wells' cell phone was not found. That means it was not on his person. It was lost. In a traditional sense of being lost on a trail. His family's attorney stated that the phone was taken by Wells' friends when they left him on an island, which is Horns Island, and was later returned to his parents. Let's deal with that first of all. Wait a minute. I'm not going to take your phone, Carol. Toya, First Lady, Roberts, Michelle, I'm not going to. Why would I take your phone? I need to communicate with you. So I want your phone on your person, that we will have open lines of communication. Why did his friends take his phone? That's the first question. Why? You're going to leave somebody somewhere without any means of communication? That don't sit right with me. It just don't. You're going to take his phone. Then his phone is returned to his parents. I want somebody to make that make sense, because it don't add up. It don't. No, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It says Wells vanished during a July 4th boat trip with a group of friends near the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The friends left the island without him. You came with me, but you left without him. That's number 2. Later, claiming he chose to stay behind. Listen, you can tell me anything. Y'all, I like that claim, because how do we know that Nolan chose to stay behind? There's no communication lines open there. He doesn't have a phone because y'all took it. So you're going to tell us that he chose to stay behind. I don't think that sounds right. Because if we're leaving, we're going to leave the same way we came. Together. Understand? I'm not going to leave you behind and then claim that you chose to stay behind. Why did you chose? Why would you? Why? You came with your friends. Y'all were on a trip of enjoyment, I thought, together. So when the trip is over, we all leave and return home together. So let's see. Does that make sense to any of you at this point in the game? Does that make sense? We were always taught to stick together. Wherever you go, where you go there together. Nobody goes anywhere by themselves. You went as a group. That means everything you do, you're doing as a group. So, good morning, Mom. How are you? So, I'm not understanding this at all. I'm not. Listen, the body of 18-year-old Noel Wells was found by a U.S. Park Service ranger on the northwest shoreline of Horns Island, Mississippi. He had gone missing after a July 4th boating trip. Listen. None of that makes sense to me. My friends, my family. See, if you're a friend to me, that means you're a family to me. Why? Because everybody else is an acquaintance. Got it? So I don't have friends because my friends are family. And if you're not in that category, you are an acquaintance. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So listen, my friends are not going to leave me on an island. They're not going to do that. They're going to know where I'm at. They're not going to take my only means of communication, which is my cell phone. My family. They're not going to do that. See, these people, these young men, if they were his friends, to me, that means they were his family. They didn't call them acquaintances. And they left him behind because they claimed he wanted to stay. But yet, they took his only lines of communication, his cell phone. I'm confused, drastically confused. Everybody I see on this podcast, they wouldn't leave me. I wouldn't leave them. We're going to leave the same way we came, together. We celebrated my sister Toya's birthday. Now, a lot of us arrived separately in our own vehicles. But when we left, her dinner, we left together. Once we got to our destination, we decided to reach out to one another to make sure that we all made it home safely. I didn't take any of their cell phones. This does not add up. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. Listen, no official cause of death has been released yet for Nolan Wells. Jackson County investigators stated they suspect he drowned. They suspect he drowned. That's what they suspect. So he stayed behind to swim. Give me a break. He stayed behind to get in the water. Give me a freaking break. But the final autopsy results and toxicology report are still pending. Listen, because of unanswered questions regarding his final hours, the family has hired an attorney, Ben Crump, and have sent his body to Washington, D.C. for a second independent autopsy. Those are good parents. Those are excellent parents, because they want to know what really happened to their son, who left on a trip with his so-called friends. They returned home, but he didn't. They get a call that their son is dead. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel? I'm feeling some kind of way, because something just ain't adding up. And so I'm going to write my own narrative in regards to this situation. They said that public information does not indicate any exact date or time frame for when the friends traveling with Noel Wells retain legal representation. I'm going to tell you what they did. They know what they did. They know what happened. From my understanding, I'm going to say, from my understanding, allegedly, one of the young men's father was an attorney. I'm pretty sure they got home and told their families what they did. And once they told them, their families quickly got them attorneys. Yeah, they attorneyed up real quick, because they know that this whole thing stinks. So I want to say to Nolan Wells family that we are praying for them. They have our support. Our prayer is that their civil rights attorney, Ben Crum, and any other attorneys that are working along with them will get to the bottom of the real truth in the matter, that they can have full closure in the death or murder of their son. Listen. Our world has changed, and people are not the people they used to be. Not in the day when we grew up. It's changed. And because of that, parents, guardians, things that we thought were so simple aren't that way anymore. And feeling that you're being overbearing, well, you need to know everything that's going on with your family. I have friends that I'm so close to. I love them dearly. If they travel, I'm on the phone texting them, voice by text in the car. They're not texting. It's voice by text. And I'm checking to make sure that they're okay. I want to know what's going on. When they stop, I want to know. When they arrive at their destination, I want to know. I do. Why? I don't want something to happen to them. And then we're devastated. So I follow them. Where you at? What you doing? No surprises. I don't care what time it is. I tell them, text me. I need to know you made it home safely. Toya, my sister, was traveling home by herself. We talked on the phone for about an hour of her trip. Then she called Mama Harrison. Then I informed her, when you get home, text me. And that's what she did. These young men that he went to school with were supposed to be his friends. And friends look out for one another. They're going to make sure that you're okay. And they claim that he wanted to stay behind. But they took his cell phone. Friends don't do that. If by chance he did ask to stay behind, they're going to say, man, keep us informed on what you're doing. When you leave, when you get on whatever mode of transportation that you're using. Because how did they get there? How? Did they drive together? How did they get there? So we can only speculate if they got there and drove together. How was Nolan going to get home if he rode with them in the same vehicle? See, there's so much we don't know. The puzzle pieces are not connected yet. So I want to know how they came to some conclusion that he may have drowned. Let's put the puzzle together first. Let's get the second opinion in regards to the autopsy. Then we can rightly divide what really happened on this trip. Because something happened and they ain't saying. But now there's a family that is without their son. I can't imagine going somewhere with any of you that I'm looking at in this comment section and not returning without you. This is a teachable lesson for so many of us. We've gotten lax in this new age, this new era. But vetting your children's friends, meeting them, is still vitally important. You know, you can read people, body language, all of that, based on what they say, what they don't say, will let you know if they're good for your children. Because evidently, these young men were not good for Nolan Wells. They would have never left him behind without any mode of communication. So I believe there's more to the story that eventually we here in America will find out. And my thing is, I want justice for his family. Justice. Listen, it's almost time for me to get off. I'm grateful for Dr. Martin Luther King paving a way that folk of color can live in any community. Children can go to any school that it affords us. That's a blessing. But I also understand that we must be careful who then our children will associate themselves with. When we look at our country, For many years under other presidents, racist, bigot, biased individuals have hid under rocks for many years. And you really didn't know everything about them, of how they felt. But when the orange man came into office and allowed this country to understand just how he feels about other ethnicities, America decided they didn't have to hide anymore. So they show their ugly faces now. So when God has blessed us of color, that our money has afforded us to move into upper middle class neighborhoods, children going to upper middle class schools, we then have to be a little more vigilant in making sure that the friends our children began to choose are right for them. I'm going to say it again. Back in the day, 28 years ago, the percentage regarding people of color was little of nothing. Come to think of it, in my subdivision, Foxwood Estates, there were only 2 black families. My family and Chantel and Carolyn across the street. Since then, it's changed. More folk look like us, but not back then. So, of course, our children went to school, and most of the time were the only people of color in their class. Did we run into some issues? Yeah. I'll never forget when my nephew JC wrote a report about an African American, and the teacher gave him an F. My sister, his mother, is an educator. She's retired now. And we went up to Lake Central and had a talk with, they said, just a little talk with Jesus. We had a round table discussion to enlighten his teacher that maybe she needed to pick it up and read the book. Thereafter, he received a different grade. A Confederate flag, one of his teachers, I think that was Alexis, was it him, had in the closet in their classroom, and they would pull it out. No, it wasn't a flag. It was the uniform. And myself, and it was Councilman Jamal Washington at the time, went up to Lake Central and had a little talk and assured them that the teacher needed to take that home. So listen, we have to be a little more responsible. Not saying that his parents weren't responsible, but what I'm saying is things have changed. And people are not always who they say or pretend to be. And this young man is dead. And his family had to plan his celebration of life. He went on a trip with his friends. They returned home. He didn't. Later on, they found his body because he was dead. Something does not add up. And my prayer is that the family will get all of the closure that is due them, and that this attorney that they have hired, this civil rights attorney, Ben Crumb, will get to the bottom of all of this, and that even we, the American people, will get some answers, and the family some closure. And if anybody must pay, we want justice for this young man. So, was it a drowning or was it a murder? This is DJ. Real talk in the raw. This thing has got me because he is somebody's son. Somebody's son. So, please, ma'am and sir, like and subscribe my YouTube page. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe DJ Real Talk in the Raw. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that if you would. Please, ma'am and sir. Again, thank all of you, my Facebook family, for following DJ Real Talk in the Raw. I greatly appreciate all of you. I see the numbers of how many people are watching. And I am thankful to all of you because this show could not be what it is without you. Thank you so much for your participation, your questions, all of that. It means a lot to me that you guys join me for this podcast. So listen. I'll see you on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. for another round of DJ Real Talk in the Raw. We're going to talk about the orange man and the straight and everything that's going on in this country in regards to the war in Iran. You remember ceasefire, all of that. There was never a ceasefire. Never. We have an agreement. We've come to. There was never an agreement. And here we are in this senseless war. Trillions of dollars are being spent of our taxpayers' money that could have funded Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food, housing, utilities, student loan forgiveness, health care for everybody. Listen, I'm just saying, it's our money that they are just wasting on things that just don't matter. What matters right now are the American people. And we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. For all of you, birthdays, let's get this out of the way. Carol has a birthday. My brother Michael has a birthday. My niece Jayla has a birthday, and she's pregnant, going to have a little girl. I'm excited. Another niece is on the way. So I'm excited about that. So many. So if you have a birthday today, we are saying happy birthday to all of you. Enjoy, as my sister Dana says, your born day. So before you leave your homes today, plead the blood of Jesus over your house, your family, your friends, loved ones, neighbors, enemies, and frenemies. God's protective blood, that he will go with you and keep you safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. Never forget these three mantras. My brother, the short guy, Minister Antonio Thickpen, says to go and be great. My God brother, Jesse Campbell, he sang the national anthem the other day. He says to love and light. And I remind us every day that when you were created in the womb of your mother, God gave you a purpose and an assignment. Walk in your purpose and fulfill the God-given assignments that are attached to your life. All three of these mantras lead to kingdom building. At the end of the day, everything is about kingdom building. The word of God says, watch as well as pray. Watch as well as pray. Gotta do it, people. And remember, faith without works is dead. Yes, it is. So how do we deal with carjackers? I'm going to tell you, listen what you do. Keep your doors locked. Keep your windows up. And if those suckers walk up to your car and they juggling, trying to get in, put your foot on the gas pedal, press it to the floor, and drag them suckers until they let go. I said it, them criminals. Yeah, drag them until they let go. Now, my brother, Troy Taylor Jr. said that I have to let you guys know you must call 911. And I'm saying so that they can go and pick up that trash. Have a fantastic day. Again, love all of you with my whole heart. See ya. This is DJ Real Talk in the Raw. Bye.
It's a